In my last video, we talked about how fibroids impact your entire life, everything from your mental health to your finances. In my 8 Signs Your Fibroids Are Growing video, we discussed things like crazy inflammation, raging periods, pain, depression and anxiety, and urinary urgency, amongst other things. But as you can tell by the thumbnail and the title, today I'm giving you part 2. Y'all told me loud and clear that you wanted a part 2 about the things I would do right now if my fibroids started growing back. And you know I got you, sis. I know that a lot of you feel very confused about your condition, what's going on, and how I shrank my fibroids naturally. So stay tuned. We're about to get into it. Welcome back to my channel. I am Glampreezy. If you are new here, hey girl, hey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and become part of the family, because I bring you videos about a natural fibroid healing and everything we need to know about our fibroids every single week. And I've been at it for about 2.5 years, y'all. So you need to catch up on all my videos. If you are new here, as I said, I am Glampreezy. I am a digital wellness creator and a women's health advocate right here on YouTube. I have not only shrank and managed my fibroids naturally without going through with another surgery, I have also learned how to keep them from growing back through studying this condition and the things that affect it, like my life depended on it, because it kind of did. Almost 3 years ago now, I started on this natural fibroid healing journey, and I am still standing strong today and in control of my body, as you can see. So if you want to learn more about how I achieve this, or even just want to understand more about the condition of fibroids, please join the family by subscribing. About 60% of my frequent viewers are not subscribed. That's crazy. Join the family, y'all. Help a sister out, okay? It's hard in these internet streets when you're talking about the topics that I talk about. Before we get into this list of things I would do right now if my fibroids started growing back, it's really important for y'all to understand a few things. I know that when you're in the midst of fibroid chaos, it can be hard to understand that what you're going through is governed by only a few things. And this will all seem much less complicated when you understand what's going on first. Remember, ladies, your symptoms are not random. They are all connected, and they are happening for a reason. Another thing that I want to say, I'm gonna just put it out there right now. I am not here today to tell you what you want to hear. I am here to tell you what you need to hear so you can heal yourself, okay? Healing your body is about more than supplements and teas. It's even about more than eating healthy and working out. Yeah, but before I lose you, let me break it down for you real quick. Fibroids are a hormone-sensitive, inflammatory condition that thrive in bodies that have nutrient deficiencies, blood sugar instability, stress, trauma, and emotions built up, constipation, inflammation, lack of proper nutrition like protein, healthy fat, and fiber, and nutrient density, amongst other things. All of these things fuel hormone imbalance, which is what you're dead in the middle of right now. And in turn, that hormone imbalance fuels fibroids. It's a big cycle, okay? I want you to see long-term relief, sis. So that means we have to dig in a little bit and get to the root of the issue. So if you thought I was gonna get up here and say, take this, drink that, you were wrong. Remember, fibroids are a symptom just like your heavy periods, just like your brain fog, just like your lack of energy or your hair coming out. You get me? In order to address the root, we have to address these 3 underlying factors: healing hormone imbalance, managing inflammation, and replenishing nutrient deficiencies. These are the foundations of the condition. When you get to those things, that's when magic happens. That's when you start seeing your symptoms going away. Because under these categories, there are many things that affect your fibroids, and also many ways to address them. Castor oil packs, they always come up when we're talking about natural fibroid healing, don't they? And people always wonder why they help. It's because they support the liver, which falls under the umbrella of addressing hormone imbalance. Let me give you one more. Stress management, emotional health, and trauma. These are all under the umbrella of inflammation and hormone imbalance. You get me? You get where I'm going with this? So if you've been following me so far, then I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this, right? There's a science to this, ladies. And it's okay if you don't understand this yet. I have tons of videos on this channel that explain them. So come on in. Let's get into the top 5 things I would do right now if my fibroids started growing back. Okay, ladies, let's start this list off at number 1, diet. I'm sure a lot of y'all saw that coming. I would immediately take a look at my diet. Contrary to popular belief, which I do not understand this at all, your diet directly affects the categories I mentioned earlier, all of them. And it can be a very, very powerful tool if you know how to use it right. And no, this is not a matter of eating meat or not eating meat. I know we want to battle that point so hard in the fibroid community, but I found it to be more helpful to focus on, is the diet anti-inflammatory or not? Is the diet hormone supportive or not? Is the diet nutrient dense or not? You get where I'm going? All right. In the beginning, I would even go as far as to get on a 30-day elimination type diet like I did. This diet should be meant to uncover things that are causing inflammation in your body, because a lot of the things that we are used to eating or we're taught are healthy can be very much inflammation causing in your body. And just because you're used to eating it or you heard so much about it does not mean it is good for fibroid health. And furthermore, it does not mean that it is targeted enough for your hormone health. In the beginning of my journey, I did an elimination type diet. I did not follow any of the popular diets that are out there for this, although there are many, so just Google that. But I intuitively went through this process for the first month, maybe even month and a half, figuring out how my body was responding to certain foods. I paid a lot of attention to what was making my fibroids react, what was making my periods worse, what was making my pain worse. Those are signs of inflammation, ladies, okay? So other things like what was making my gut worse. I told you in the last video that my gut was inflamed and it was beside itself. So I took notes. I had a food journal. Yes, I dug in there. Sometimes you got to dig in deep. It's not easy being sick and it's not easy healing. So I eliminated the foods that seemed to be causing my gut, first and foremost, issues and inflammation. And I replaced that with a nutrient dense food that was targeted for reducing inflammation and clearing excess estrogen, which is very necessary in your diet for fibroids, okay? As well as things that followed my PFF formula, protein, fat, fiber. Very important for rebalancing your hormones. Worth mentioning, since we are on diet, that most of us are walking around starving. Yeah, starving our bodies because we don't eat often enough, first and foremost, which leads to more inflammation through blood sugar chaos and dysregulation. If you want more information about blood sugar and fibroids and hormone health, check out this video. And we are also starving our hormones because we are so deficient in protein, healthy fat, and fiber. These are essential to healing hormones, ladies, and even making hormones to begin with. Not us thinking we can reverse this condition and heal our hormones with a bowl of lettuce, a bottle of supplements, and a treadmill. No. Stop it right now. Stop it right now. You have to eat, ma'am. You cannot heal your hormones if you do not nourish your body. And as I mentioned before, a lot of the foods that we eat contribute to fibroid growth. And no, not just junk food and sugar, which are huge no-nos, by the way. Other triggers include grains, wheat, legumes, yes, beans, rice, which is a grain, dairy for sure, and processed meat. I have plenty videos on my channel talking about diet. Check out this one. if you want to know more information on that topic. And if you want more guidance on what that looks like for me, please join my Substack. I have deep dive articles and recipes on how I eat, what I focus on, and why. Number 2, liver support. Immediately, I would start supporting my liver. Do I have a video on this already? If I do, I'll pop it on screen at some point, or a video that explains deeper in depth about how this works. Ladies, our liver is our friend when it comes to healing hormones and fibroids. That's why drinking all that wine, tequila, and Hennessy on the weekends is not for us in this season. And I know a lot of y'all don't even drink, but this video is for all of my girls. No judgment, babes. This is a safe space, all right? I got you. Liver support goes under the hormone imbalance umbrella, and in some cases inflammation, but mostly the hormone imbalance umbrella. Why? Because the liver is where excess and old estrogen gets processed to be removed out of the body. Why does this matter? Fibroids are estrogen sensitive tumors, ladies. In fact, they're covered in estrogen receptors. And most of us with fibroids suffer from something called estrogen dominance or estrogen excess. If you want more info on that, watch this video. So when we talk about hormone imbalance and fibroids, we're generally talking about the lack of balance between estrogen and progesterone, all of which are explained in that video I just mentioned. When the liver isn't functioning optimally, excess estrogen gets reabsorbed into the bloodstream, restarting this vicious cycle. So how to support your liver, and what did I do? First and foremost, of course, diet changes. Adding green leafy cruciferous vegetables, kale, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, arugula, cabbage. I would also get a really good quality milk thistle tea. Yes, milk thistle is phenomenal for supporting the liver. Dandelion root also comes in teas or in supplements. Amazing for liver support. DIM or diindol methane. I have a video on this as well. And of course, I'll drop some of my favorite products in the description box below. Okay, number 3, test, don't guess. I've said this many times in my videos. Yes, you can stab in the dark on your healing journey if you want to. I did this. Absolutely did this in the beginning. But I found a more effective plan is to get testing done. Not only is getting an MRI very helpful in seeing the full picture of the type, size, location, and status of your fibroids, but getting blood tests done is also so helpful. If you don't know where your hormones actually are, how are you going to support them properly? If you don't know how deficient you are in vitamin D, for example, how are you going to know how much you should be supplementing? And while we're on the topic of vitamin D, if you have not watched my video on vitamin D, you need to watch it, like immediately after this video. If you have fibroids, you need to understand the link between vitamin D and fibroids, like now, today. Also, if you are blindly supplementing, you could be overdoing it or underdoing it or wasting your time and hard-earned money on something you don't even need to be taking. That is why I recommend testing. And if you don't feel like arguing and going back and forth with your doctor, or you don't have insurance right now, try my sponsor, LabCorp On Demand. Yes, the LabCorp we all know and have been to for our labs has brought us a new and easy way to get labs done, ladies. You can actually go on their website and purchase the specific labs you want to be tested for. And then you can go to any of the LabCorp locations to get your samples taken. And girl, yes, it gets easier. Not only can you walk in without an appointment, and yes, you can make an appointment too if it works better that way for you, but you will also be notified by email when your results are ready. And you can go right into your LabCorp patient account to see everything. I'm telling you, it does not get easier. I do personally use this service, okay? And it is quite possibly probably the easiest process that I have ever done when it comes to lab testing. And one of my favorite tests to get done over there is the micronutrient test. It tests not only for vitamin D levels, but also for B12, magnesium, iodine, folate, and zinc. So, girl, please, if you have been putting off testing, please go to my sponsor, LabCorp On Demand, and use my code Glampreezy to get 20% off your micronutrient test. Number 4, I would address my emotional health. I know a lot of y'all hear this and y'all want to skip past it. You want to skip past this real bad, don't you? But coming from someone who has gone through this process and has actually shrank and managed their fibroids naturally, please listen to me. Do not avoid this, especially my strong, independent ladies. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Y'all hear this and think, I'm good. I don't need this part. But ma'am, one of my best pieces of advice is that the key to healing is in the work you are avoiding. Some of us have grown so accustomed to bottling everything up that we don't even allow ourselves the space to even be vulnerable enough to sit with ourselves and really check in. We're so busy moving to avoid the moment of aloneness, to avoid the moment of quiet and solitude, to actually sit with yourself and your mental, your emotional, and figure out what's really there. So go ahead and stop by TJ Maxx on your way home and grab you a yoga mat, because we are about to start incorporating some intentional emotional health time into our week. This is exactly what I did every week, at least every week, if not several times a week, for the next 30 days. We are going to devote intentional emotional health time. And then you can tell me that there was nothing there. So what do you do after you grab that mat? I'm going to link some of my favorite resources in the description bar below, as well as a link to my recent article on this topic. You can also check out this video right here. Yes, indeed. You can start right now if you want to, or some of the links in the description box below. Try it for 30 days. Please, 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 please. And then come back and tell me how you feel. Finally, we have made it to number 5. I feel like instinctively we know that movement heals, but I don't mean just any old movement, ladies. Just how everything else on this journey needs to be targeted for fibroids and hormone health, so does your movement. We are talking about low impact. Yes. Forget the cycling classes, running, HIIT, and any other high intensity training for now. Not forever, but right now we're in healing mode. Okay. So we need to slow it down, bring it down just a notch. And that's another thing that I want to quickly mention, that y'all refuse to look at yourselves as someone who is healing. You are not where you used to be, ma'am. No, you're not at 100% right now. This is time to bring it down, slow things down, and make sure everything that you're doing is intentional. Okay, that's how you get results. If you were in charge of somebody who was not doing well, who was not at 100%, and you were in charge of their healing, how would you treat that person? Would you have them in the gym going hard, doing HIIT, doing crazy stuff? No, you would tell them to do it slow. You would take them into the park and do a nice nature walk. You would take them around the block, go do a walk. You know what I mean? Slow, gentle movement. You are healing. Instead of doing those high intensity things, I would immediately start with slow weighted workouts. Now, they don't have to be super heavy. You don't even have to go over 20, 25 pounds. Okay. You ain't got to do all that. I would start resistance training, Pilates, walking on the treadmill on incline, walking outside, jogging, yoga, gentle movement. You got me? A lot of you ladies tell me that you can't do certain things physically, so you completely overlook this category. But there is always a way, ladies. There's always a way, but definitely listen to your body. There are machines for disabled and elderly people almost at every gym. If you have to start there, start there. There is no shame in that. If your mobility is not the greatest, start with something like that. If you have to modify movements or do it seated, start there. That's okay. Although I know walking can even be difficult for a lot of women who are going through tremendous pain. But if you can, throw on your sneakers and walk around the block. Even if you are in pain, if you get up and walk and just see what you can do. If you live in a building, go walk the halls even. I'm not even kidding. You have to start somewhere. Be easy, be gentle, listen to your body, but you have to move your body. Do only upper body if you have to. Even if it's just you, your yoga mat, and YouTube on your living room floor. Get to it, ladies. Nobody's judging you. No matter what type of healing you're trying to achieve with your health, moving your body is always suggested for a reason. Trust me, I used to be in bad shape in the beginning of this journey. And if you go back and watch some of my videos, I talk about this. Some days I had to tear myself out of my bed and just get on my bedroom floor and stretch my body. That was all I could do at that time until I got enough strength and enough energy to actually start going and walking in the park. And I got myself a yoga mat for at home instead of just being on my bedroom floor, and really started stretching and going on YouTube and seeing what things I could do from home. It grew from that to me getting a gym membership and going to the gym, and it progressed. It didn't start there. So I just need you to understand that this is a really, really important part of your journey. It's something that is accessible for most of us, and a lot of the moving of the body can be done for free. I need you to take this part very seriously, because moving your body addresses hormone health, inflammation, mental health, detoxification, all of that in one. So before we go, let's run that back down. Number one, I would immediately address my diet. Number two, I would support my liver and proper liver detoxification. Number three, I would get tests done. I would start with an MRI and then get blood testing done so that I know how to supplement and how to eat. Number four, I would address my emotional health. And number five, I would start to move my body intentionally. I really, really hope that you guys start to implement these things immediately. This is going to jumpstart your journey, and it's going to help to support everything you do on this healing journey. Without the foundation of these things, everything else on your health journey is going to take that much longer to achieve and to see results. I know that a lot of you wanted me to come on here and say, take this, drink that. And in honesty, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all like that. If y'all knew how many thousands of dollars I spent buying products thinking that it was going to heal me, and it didn't. You need the fundamentals. You need the foundational setup in order to be successful and to see long-term results. Okay. And most certainly check out the rest of my channel, as I've been making videos breaking down this condition for the last 2.5 years, you guys, so that you ladies can understand what you're working with, because doing it blindly is going to not only steal your hope, because doing it blindly is going to leave you with a bunch of wasted products that you don't even finish, wasted money, energy, resources, and it dwindles down your hope when you keep trying things and you think that's going to be the one, that's going to be the one. But it's more important for you to understand and educate yourself on the condition itself so that you can understand how to address it and what to address. Does that make sense? Stop stabbing in the dark, girls. Okay, it's 2025. We got resources. We don't have to go at this alone. If you're looking for more support and guidance and you're really ready to lock in a more tight-knit space, please join my Substack. But like I said, my Substack is for the ladies that are ready to lock in, the ladies that are convinced. If you're not yet and you still kind of just figuring things out, become part of my YouTube family, subscribe, and check out my channel. I have so many different resources through my videos to help you understand this condition more and things you can do to heal yourself so that you can make an informed choice for your body. And y'all were very adamant about a part 2. So if y'all want a part 3 and just make it a series, let me know by subscribing to my channel, thumbsing up this video, and commenting below part 3 and what category you want me to expand on most. The one with the most comments is up next. But do know I have so many other videos on this channel. Check out my channel homepage or this playlist so that we don't double up on topics, okay? I love you guys, and I cannot wait to see you in another video.